understanding the talent you want and how your organization is operating and whether that's going to attract or detract people coming to you, and then getting involved with how you can develop the talent.
But then you look at trying to bring in someone new, you're looking to try and bring in someone with that right skill set. How are they going to attract that A player? What do they need to do, with that talent issue of we've maybe sorted out the internal, how we're bringing in that new talent?
Yeah, well, I think these all link together. If you've got a strong culture, you're underpinning that with really strong communication across the organization. You kind of create this driving force of empowered people. If you do that well, you can obviously create this noise in the marketplace about being a good employer, and that's obviously the perfect position to be, where people are coming to you because you are. I heard one of my recruitment friends who runs his recruitment business. He talked about being the right employer, and being the right employer is, again, a lot about how that company behaves, its culture, how it's seen in the marketplace. So if you get to that point, you've got people knocking on your door that want to come and work for you. Of course, at the moment, there's a kind of a skill shortages in many areas. In the tech space, it's cybersecurity, cloud accredited specialists, artificial intelligence, big data. Those are areas where resource is limited and constrained, and therefore the employees or potential employees can, they'll go around and look for the best employer with the best package. So I think if you're you've got to think about how your company operates, the cultures, the values, the leadership, being authentic. I think you've got to think about, particularly with a lot of the Generation Z coming through, what is your company trying to achieve in the wider context of society and the environment, because those are important issues to the younger generation these days. So you need to not only stand for something, you need to take action, and that needs to be seen. So I think there are some things you can do within the communities you work with or society at large, or to do with your carbon footprint emission, beyond just being greenwashing where people say they're doing it, actually doing something. And then I think things like your policies around hybrid working and flexible working is crucial at the moment, because we've been through COVID. That's changed the way people think about working, and companies need to think about how that, what is their ongoing policy there. Is flexibility is absolutely fine. We trust our people. We know they're going to do what they need to do. Or are we wanting to bring them back into the office, telling them they need to come back, even thinking about tracking? I've heard of people putting technology in to track what people are doing at home, which, my view on that is that's a road to, that's not the right thing to do, because you're already not creating an environment of trust. So there's some positions a company can take. I think also in terms of developing talent, you can get involved in being on that, being involved with developing talent in the market. And I mean things like apprenticeships, internships, scholarships, accepting that actually sometimes not recruiting someone that doesn't have all the skills yet, but has the right attitude and you can develop them, is really important to think about. And which is obviously internships, working with academic, higher education, where there's that flow through where people want job roles to learn. I mean, I've been involved with a few conversations around that recently. And then, at the other end, there's things like scholarships, that where there are grants that exist for placements for people that aren't necessarily represented, fairly in society, and it's tougher for them to come to the top to get some of those roles. So I think there's a number of things there, George, around talent. understanding the talent you want and how your organization is operating and whether that's going to attract or detract people coming to you, and then getting involved with how you can develop the talent.